our guest trainer today is Stacy Ayton with websitemdi.io. Stacy, with a keen understanding of the small business hustle, Stacy specializes in the art of creating websites that not only capture the attention of search engines, but also elevates your online presence. Her expertise extends to mastering SEO intricacies and implementing cutting-edge AI and automated customer follow-ups, all designed to streamline and enhance your business operations. Stacy is dedicated to helping businesses stand out in the digital landscape. Your journey to boosting your online game begins with Stacy Ayton. Welcome, Stacy. I can't read today. We're so glad you're here doing the presentation instead of me. So take it away, Stacy. Give us your best content.
Okay, great. Hey, thank you so much for having me today, and thank you for everyone attending. So I'm guessing you're here today because you're looking at how do I get more leads and what are some of the different options out there. So let's talk about Google and some of the things that they're doing to help you with leads. So, and has anybody heard of Google local service ads? Sound familiar to anybody?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So this is something that's kind of interesting and new. And is something that I wanted to share with you because if you have not heard about it, I like it a little different than the Google pay-per-click, which most of you are probably familiar with, or maybe that's why you're here today, is to learn a little bit more about it. So let's talk about what Google's got going on and what you're going to learn today. So we're going to talk about Google service ads, pay-per-click, and just something I wanted to talk to you about a little bit that I'm seeing something new that came out. And another way that might help you with just reviving your database, leads you might already have. So let's get started with Google. So Google service ads. This is when you're searching. Has anyone seen this pop up in the top of their search where it has a green check mark and it says Google guaranteed? Has anyone seen that? Nope. Okay. So this is new. Well, and I say new, it's been around since at least I've seen it for probably 9 months, maybe to a year. And what it is Google is telling whoever is searching, we have vetted this business and we are willing to give up to $1,000 in refund if there happens to be an issue with the service. So Google's telling the searcher, hey, we've done the vetting for you, we're giving some guarantee, and that's a cool thing for the searcher. You as a business, say you decide, I would like to see about getting involved in this program. They will ask you to do a few things so that they can vet you, but it's not a bad thing. And I have to say, if you're a local business, I love this option if it's available for you in your area. So what I mean by that is it is not currently available for every industry or in every city. So you have to go on to the website, which I have put the link up here, so that you can look to see if your industry and your city is available. Now, when I last looked, they're always updating. So even though it may not be available today, it may get added later. So that is kind of a cool thing. But what I really like about this over the pay-per-click is that you can go in, put in your zip code, say how many leads you're looking for, what is your industry, so you know if it's available, and they will tell you the estimated budget to get 10 leads in this industry is going to run you somewhere between 220 and 330. So you know, right? Okay, I want 10 leads. Now, what is a lead? So they're looking at a lead as if somebody has called you, messaged you, or they have gone ahead and let's say it's called, message, and why am I blanking on the third one? It's up here, or booked. So if you have the option to book, they're looking at those things. But say you get a lead from somebody, but based on what you put for your profile, say you're a house painter and they send you a lead for a carpet cleaner. You can actually go back and do a claim to say, hey, you know what? this isn't what I do at all. And they will actually refund it back. So I like that about this program is because you're getting the lead set up for your profile. I feel like you have a better option at getting what you're looking for versus the pay-per-click because they are telling you, we'll give you 10 leads. You've told us your profile. They make it easier. And I feel like it's more affordable. I like to know what my return on investment is. Whereas the pay-per-click we're going to talk about, has anybody done pay-per-click? Okay, we'll explain that a little more. And I'll tell you why it's got its good and its bad. But the Google local service ads, if it's something that is offered, it may be worth checking out because you now know the specifics, which these are not. There's some control in the pay-per-click, but there's no guaranteed how many leads you're going to get because it's based on how many people click your ad. So very different structure. This is the newest of the two. So I would tell you it is worth searching out. And again, it's local service ads. It is made for local businesses. So this is what's a little bit different. This is how you can tell if that's what it is. So pretty distinguished between this is the pay-per-click, right? So if you're looking, I want you to know like what you're looking at. And again, as you're going in and setting things up, it actually sets up the ad for you versus the other, you've got to do some work. This one says, okay, this is what you got. This is your area, zip code, leads, industry. Here's a budget. Do you want to move forward? And then you have it. So any questions? And I'm just trying to give you a quick rundown on a couple of ideas.
I have a question.
Okay, perfect.
So how do we find out which professions this kind of ad is good for? Like real estate agents, I'm going to assume if you're a real estate agent, you need to be doing one of these. Is that?
Yeah, so good question. If you go to this link, it will tell you all the industries that are now available. Or if you just want to go quick, because you want to look at industry and cities, just put in your zip code. You can go in and you don't have to sign up at this point. You can put in your zip code and look for your industry. If it does not give you your industry, it's not available there yet. But when you go to the first page, it kind of breaks it down into different sections and shows you currently the industries that it's providing leads for, but it may not be for all areas. So no obligation at this point. Check it out. It'll at least give you an idea. Any other questions?
I have a quick question.
Yes.
So do you have to set up your Google profile first?
I would always tell you to set up your Google business listing profile. I am so
Okay.
pro profile, I guess I'd like to say it. It's free. And Google is looking for that you're playing ball with them. They want to know who you are and the information. I would definitely, you want to set it up because it's going to go into your Google account. It's going to be looking. So yes, set up your profile first. Any other questions? Okay, so that covers the local business service ads. Let's talk about the pay-per-click, which this is how you would recognize those ads. It's a sponsored or it will say ad. So when you do this, the difference, as you can see, and I've still got the other example up above, I get a little bit more information, right? First view, I can tell a little bit more about who they are, what it is they do. And there can be several, just like there can be several, the Google guaranteed. And Google determines whether these sponsored ads are above the map, below the map, to the side of the map. And there's not a lot you can determine about where it goes. But how this works, if I came in and said, okay, well, I'm thinking about a plumber. Let me click on this ad because I want to know a little more. The minute you click, that business is charged. So every time somebody clicks on their ad, they are charged. So what are they charged? It depends. Depending on your industry, depending on the keywords they're having that you had them use, is going to depend on how much each click is going to cost you. So I like to use the analogy, think of it like buying stock. That click could be, the stock prices could be different, whether you're buying Coca-Cola, whether you're buying Amazon or one of the others. It really varies. So just know there's no guarantee to say by clicking, you're going to get that contact's information, that they're a lead for you. They could be just investigating at this point. So it doesn't mean it's a match. And if somebody, say I'm already a customer of this business, if I'm not paying attention or really thinking or caring, I may click on this ad just to talk to him, even though I've had him out several times, right? Because it's at the top of the page. It's easy to find. So now that's going into eating up the budget. The other thing that I think makes this a little bit harder and more for sophisticated users is you have to do the research for your keywords. Now, I deal with that and I understand it, but I can tell you it's not easy. There are keywords you're looking at. We have to look at difficulty, the amount of traffic, and I'm looking at, so what are my chances of getting them to convert? Where am I at? So it's a little bit more work, but if you're a company that's not local and you're national, you may want to start looking at more of this because of your reach. But again, very different way you are charged. So just be careful. And you actually are creating the ad within the system. So it's going to guide you. It's just know it's not like you have to come up with all of it, but you're still having to set it up. So this to me is a little bit more sophisticated strategy if you're going to use it. And it depends. Are you like a national business where I could operate from anywhere? I want leads from anywhere. Then this is probably something you may pair with both. Because I always believe in a business first, making sure you've got solid marketing locally, even if you're going nationally, because you can replicate that, you know what's working. So if this is something you would like to do, here's the direct link to go to Google Ads to learn more about, we call it pay-per-click. Again, business is paying every time somebody clicks on it. So does that kind of kind of make sense for the difference between the two type of ads? Okay. So any
Stacey, I had a
question?
question.
Yes.
I have a Google ad that's running right now, but it's not the pay per click. I have a budget that I set monthly. Is that
Right.
different?
Nope, that's what this should be because it will say, you can set up your total budget and you can even, did you put in how much you might want to spend a day? Or did you set it up in a month? This is all I want to spend.
In a month, I got a monthly.
Okay, so it won't exceed your budget, but it is telling you, when you went in, it probably had you pick out keywords or what are you looking for?
Mhm.
They need more information, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, so this is what you have. So just as long as you're kind of aware of the two differences, both of them, you have a budget range. One is more geared towards, hey, here's the leads. The other one is based on clicks.
Okay.
So yeah, just kind of knowing, because I find I have client that, when I went to do her website, she had done this and just set it up, not really knowing, and spent $1,000 getting a few leads in Texas, and she's in New Mexico, and she's not licensed for Texas. So that $1,000 disappeared. So there is a little bit of an art to it. If I'm looking at a bigger scope for clients, sure, I would probably do both. So if the
Mhm.
budget is there, just be careful in knowing how to use it and how it's set up. And those are just a few key takeaways I wanted to give you about the two.
Okay. One last question. So
Of course,
you're not charged unless you reach your goal, are you? Or you still charge?
they're going to charge you for however many clicks you got.
Okay.
So, and with Google, they're going to they should be providing you all the clicks for your monthly budget before the month is out.
Yeah.
Because they're going to show you and keep showing you until those clicks happen. Because think about it, that's how they make their money. So they're going to show you what it takes to get your budget. I've seen some where they set up and say by day. So you say, hey, I kind of want to spread it out because what if you spend my budget within a few days and I'm done for the month? And
Mhm.
maybe I want to kind of spread it out.
Okay. So if you're not exceeding your budget, does that mean you're not getting enough clicks?
Okay, so if you're not exceeding your budget, so meaning that they just charged you a certain amount
Yeah,
that was not
so
your
I have a
budget.
$300 a month budget for my Google ad.
Okay.
But I've had about 6 months. So out of those 6 months, I have not exceeded the $300. They just charge me
Wow.
what they charge me.
Yes.
But does that mean that I'm not getting enough traffic?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and that surprises me because Google's going to want to keep showing it. So it tells me there's something either maybe looking at your keywords might need to be readjusted
Okay.
to see if that helps you.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Interesting. I am surprised with Google and the traffic. Is it something you're looking for a specific area?
Yeah, well, I'm getting a lot of it's weird because I'm getting a lot of traffic and my Google ad is doing pretty well as far
Okay.
as me getting clients.
Good.
I am looking in the Metro Detroit area and then where my studio is in Royal Oak. I'm acting like you here, but I'm in Michigan. But anyway,
Yeah, that's okay.
those are the areas where I'm really getting the traffic and my keywords, and I can see all of the keywords that the biggest ones that I'm getting hits for is headshots near me.
Okay, so you're a photographer.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So one of the things in doing keyword research is we can look at if you're looking at a specific city,
Mm-hmm.
a certain, and again, headshots, there might only be X amount of traffic that Google sees per month for that specific. Now, there's a cheat because I'm all about like, how do I make it simple for people? If you were to go to Google and do a search, excuse me, for the city and the headshots together,
Mm-hmm.
it will tell you about how many monthly searches are coming up for that traffic.
Okay.
And that might give you a little bit of an idea. Besides headshots, you probably have listed in, you do probably family portraits,
No, just headshots.
just headshots. Okay. Because I
And
didn't
it
know
is
that.
showing me the dollar amount of how many clicks I'm getting, how much it's charging me, the percentage, and all of that. So,
Perfect.
and I do know I discarded the negative keywords so that I won't get clicks for things that I'm not doing.
Yeah.
So,
So you're paying attention, which is is awesome because the client I had ran into, she just wasn't sure how to read the information.
mhm.
And if she had, she would have caught some of it. I feel bad. $1,000 to a small business owner is a lot
Yeah, yeah.
to lose because it's just not working.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. I
Yes.
wasn't sure on how that budget amount works. Is it per click still? So what you're
Yes.
saying is the difference is what you're presenting today, the local generator lead ads it's not measured by clicks, it's just measured by
Phone call,
amount of leads
messages,
that you
or
get.
people that booked.
Oh, okay.
So the action meaning to me, I look at it as more potential that it's an actual lead for you when you click through. But so when you click through, there's no guarantee. But I have a shower company client uses this quite frequently and has very good success. It drives a lot of traffic to his business. And for him, it has done great. So
Okay.
I always like to present things that are new that I'm seeing or trends and say, here's an option. Because
Okay. And you can go
sometimes
back and forth between the two?
you can do them both at the same time if you wanted to. I would look at your keywords and what's set up. But yeah, you could go back through because maybe what it is I would try testing them both. Am I getting the same amount of leads?
Mm,
What am I getting from them?
okay.
I guess, you know what? I like kind of knowing what I'm getting. And I
Yeah.
think that's kind of for the Google guarantee. I'm like, okay, I've been vetted. I can say how much I want to spend. How many leads am I looking at? Because I'm sure most of you on the call know if either you're the person doing the sales portion, what is your conversion rate? So you know if you talk to 10 people, usually close half. You know if your return on investment is there. And that's the part I kind of like there. And then you probably know from experience, you're seeing how many leads because you've done it for 6 months. You probably can do that same analogy and going, it's been a good return on investment.
Mhm.
Out of the leads I'm getting, I'm closing X amount. This has been my average cost. I'm okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Stacy.
Of course. Any other questions?
I have a quick question.
Sure.
So my business, I'm a financial coach helping young married couples to get a debt, but through their own, income and expenses and creating a budget and money habits, that sort of thing. So Google, there is no financial coaching category. So Google, I was under the life coaches, and then Google recently sent me an email saying, "We think you're more of a financial consultant. Do you want to accept this change?" So I said, "Okay," but I don't have any of my, financial advisor planner. I don't do any of that stuff, the series, whatever, all that, and I can't be a financial counselor. That's its own designation. So my question for you is that I just looked at the Google local and it said, I think financial, something financial. But my question for you on the pay per click, is it going to matter what like official Google category I'm in? Because it's just not specific enough to what I do if I put in the right keywords to get who I'm looking for.
Yes, it can be an effective yes. And I'll tell you, I have 2 clients that run into the same problem. So they both have a business where, say, you're needed to find a assisted living facility for your parents, your mom or dad. So they're not actually an assisted living facility, but they help. And so there is no slot for that business. And we have
Right.
to always put them under assisted living. And then
Okay.
we have to make sure that I would go to your secondary categories on your business listing on Google.
Okay.
And you can create custom listings to say, these are the things I actually do. Because you are limited with that main
Oh.
category to be whatever Google is giving you the option. And
Okay.
it'll help with your search. The other thing, Kimberly, I do this as a secret for all you guys when I optimize, is that even though you're a service, I will go under products on your Google business listing. I would add one in for each service you do, and it will take it. And the reason you want to do that is because it's now more searchable content. So that when somebody's searching
Mm,
on Google for those services, Google goes, oh, this
okay.
person, it's in their profile. So it's another way to add those keywords
Oh,
into your profile and start making that match.
okay.
Yes, so that's kind of one of the secret things I do because most people think it does say products, and I use it all the time for my service-based businesses.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. That is very helpful. Thank you so much.
Of course, yes. Anybody else? All right, so a couple 2 bonuses, and then Candace, if I have time, or just cut me off when it's time, I'll just zip through because I think I only have a few more minutes, right?
You got about 15 minutes if you don't want to leave any time for Q&A, but we just did a lot of Q&A.
Okay. So yes, as you go. So here's one of the things everybody's seeing AI. You either love it, you hate it, somewhere in between. It's doing different things. So there's a gentleman I have met. I do a lot of networking. It's a big thing for me. And this is interesting. I haven't tested it, but I am going to test it out. He's pretty brilliant in what he does. They're now able to say you do a search for a plumber in Albuquerque. That's where I live. He can actually capture that in their email and have it as a lead. He's selling it for like $10 a lead. I'm kind of interested because I feel for a lead cost, it's pretty cheap, but then it means you've got to have a good follow-up. So there is technology. I don't know if everybody's looked at it because there may be other people that do it. That was the first time I've heard that it's an actual email that's been verified. It's a human. and that you're able to get them at the time of search. So that was kind of interesting that technology, another way leads are coming about, because there used, and there still is, you could buy a list if you wanted to do some cold emails like, hey, I'm looking for people that own a house, there's this age, this income level. But this was kind of interesting and new to me that they now can look at saying, I did a search for this, I'm looking for this service, and I can get an email from that person and they're verified to be a real person and not a bot. So that was kind of interesting. So I just wanted to kind of give you a little update what we're seeing in technology and how you might be able to utilize it if you're ever looking for another alternative for leads. There could be several companies out there that's doing it. But I just thought, here's some other ideas. Is it out there where they're capturing? Because AI is allowing a lot more things to happen than it used to. So I don't know if that's helpful, but something new in technology that we're seeing. And then the last thing is what I wanted to talk to you guys about too is your database. As you're looking for leads and doing this, the biggest thing I find, and I'm guilty, I was guilty and I'm working on it, follow up. I'm great for a couple of times. And then I don't know about you guys. Do you find that I just get busy? There's so many things going on. It's not happening. So as you're getting these leads, one of the things I would tell you is look to put together maybe an automated follow-up system. Because if you don't have somebody specifically that can stay on top of this, the system is, I found out, I thought, oh, I probably just have a few. I ended up having close to 100. And so the system being able to follow up, we've done a couple of tests, and I can tell you can do it through, you can look at different things, different automation systems where even from an offer. So we tried it out with the bathroom remodeling company. He had a bunch of leads. He hasn't had a person to follow up. So I said, give me your 50 oldest leads. I want to try putting them through a system. So we asked him, I just sent him a text. I did an SMS campaign and said, hey, a while back you asked us if you were thinking about updating your bathroom. Are you still thinking about it? And I got a yes or no, and then the system moved them through. If it was a yes, I'd say, hey, we're running a promotion. Would you like to hear more about it? Or would you, be interested in setting up a free consultation? So I could set it through the process. The system did the work. And when somebody said yes, then it went to his office manager to set. So one of the things I'm getting at is look at the full process as you're getting leads. Do you have a follow-up process? If you do, great. If it's something in automating, just food for thought. But I found the text have been pretty good in the sense that I don't bug. They can always opt out. You have to do that. But it was another way for you to be able to have the most out of your leads. And if you have a database, there's probably a bunch in there that you can cultivate, get reactivated, maybe through an offer, or just asking them about a service they were once interested in. And it can be pretty easily set up. And it's another way to take leads you've already got, revive it, and put in a system that works behind the scenes. So just my thing, I see a lot of small businesses, and I was guilty too, that not a great follow-up system. So food for thought. Just wanted to bring up a couple of things. Think the whole cycle, that if you're working so hard to get these leads, it's money. Don't leave it on the table if you don't have a system. So that was kind of it for what I had today. Any questions about anything?
All right, last call for questions for Stacy. And Stacy, do you have your contact information that you can share with the group?
I do. It's on my last slide, which I did not even show.
Share your screen, please.
Okay. And I appreciate that because I have, if I can be of assistance or if anything here helped you and you felt like leaving a review, I do have a QR code.
Oh,
for
leaving
reviews.
a review. I love that. That is
Yeah.
the best gift that you can give to her.
Thank you. And I know a couple from your chapter previously when I did a presentation did. So thank you for all businesses. It helps us out immensely. This is how people find you. This is how Google starts ranking you. So it is of huge help. But yes, thank you again. I appreciate the opportunity to speak. If anybody has questions, please feel free to reach out. But reviews are cool. If you're looking for SEO help, It is your Google Business Profile is usually weighted pretty heavy. Second is link building, and third is reviews. So if you want to always have a review program set up, because it will help with Google and just knowing who you are. So, and knowing to offer you, because it's looking at the feedback. So you want to get into the map section. And the good news is, when I was doing kind of a little research again for the class, I am starting to see the map section is going up to the top of the page in several cities. It used to be you had to have the paid ads to get to the top. I started searching Denver in a couple of the different areas looking for the service ads. I now am seeing the Google map, which is great for everybody who has a Google Business Profile listing, because that listing's free and you have a chance to get towards the top and being seen on the pages. So that's something new that I have just recently noticed with Google. So good news for everybody that's a local business with your listing.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody,
So
for your time. I appreciate you.
our topic in March is how to read your banks, your financial statements, your profit and loss statement, and your balance sheet. It's a very important class. You need to know how to read your numbers. So your balance sheet and your profit and loss sheet. So be here next week, first Thursday of March. And we will see you guys in 1 month. Thank you for coming, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stacy,
Thank
Stacy,
you.
Stacy.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Stacy.
bye.
Thank you, Candace.
Thank you.